Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Mark, this is Spiguyver Backpacking, and today I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about my two biggest hobbies, the things that I like to get out and do the most. Number one, of course, is backpacking slash hiking. Kind of my number one love. I love getting out there, spending some time on the trail. Getting to do longer trips is always a plus, you know, doing something like the Tahoe Rim Trail, that's always something that I really enjoy doing, getting out for multiple days on the AT. Just getting out, disconnecting, and being away. The other thing that I really enjoy doing is disc golf. So with my job, I get to travel a fair amount. And as I travel, I like to take my disc golf bag with me and go and hit some of the courses and get a chance to get out and play and visit some nature and kind of get away. So what I wanted to talk about today was kind of how the two really kind of support each other. How, you know, one benefits the other and vice versa. You know, if you are into backpacking primarily, disc golf could be something that you might want to look into, and I'll talk about why today. And also, if you're into disc golfing, backpacking might be something that you want to try for a few different reasons, and we'll get into all of those today. So let's do this. Let's go. Okay, backpacking is and has been for quite a long time. I mean, a number of decades at this point, has been something that I really enjoy getting out and doing. But it's not always something that I'm able to get out and do. And, you know, it's coming up on 2 years now. 2 years ago that I had the rhabdo incident. And since then, I've kind of been hesitant to get out and do any backpacking on my own, because a lot of the backpacking I do is solo backpacking. And so getting out there by myself and just kind of getting out, like I said before, disconnecting and being able to get out and just explore and see nature and breathe in clean air and not hear the hustle and bustle of a city, but hear the sounds of nature and see, you know, bears, deer, squirrels, whatever running around. It's a cool thing to get out and do, and it kind of clears your head, gives me time to think. A lot of times my thoughts will just kind of drift off. If I'm doing, you know, a 10, 15, 20 mile day, there's lots of periods of time where my brain kind of goes into these different avenues. And I've solved a lot of problems while I've been out on the trail, both personal, mental, but also work problems, things that I've been dealing with at work that I've had trouble getting past. I've solved those out on the trail. But you can't always get out. You know, it's a big commitment to get out for even a weekend trip. I mean, you've got to go get the food, you've got to make sure you have the gear, check the weather, make sure you have a good place, you've got to get there, what's parking like, logistics, all that stuff. It's a lot to plan and it's a lot to get into. And so there are just some weekends that you just can't do it. You just cannot get the time to get away, or you've got other commitments. Say you've got a wedding on the weekend, or you've got kids with sporting events on the weekend. You can't just disconnect and walk away from all your responsibilities and go backpacking for the entire weekend. But you still want to get out into nature. Well, you could go hiking. You could go just out for a day hike, and that is something that I have done and I enjoy doing. But what I found, you know, a little over a year ago, so it was Thanksgiving of 2023, my son took me out for my first real round of disc golf, and that kind of got me just hooked. The thing about disc golf is you're out in nature. You're walking around. You're carrying. You can be. You don't have to be, but you could be carrying a pretty good sized backpack. I know that my backpack, my fully loaded backpack for like a tournament weekend, is about 40 pounds. And so you're carrying, in many cases, especially for me, more when I'm out disc golfing than I do when I go out backpacking. But you're carrying it for shorter stints at a time, and then you're throwing the disc. But you're getting out into nature. Not all courses are really nature. I mean, some of them are just in parks where it's flat, it's open fields, but others, like my local course, Greystone Woods here in New Jersey, it's a very wooded, peaceful course. You're up into the woods, you're down by a creek, you're by a couple of ponds. It is just a really cool, I mean, I've seen bear out there, I've seen deer out there, I've seen fox. There's actually an albino hawk that's out there that I've seen. So there's a lot of different cool things that you can see while you're out doing disc golf. Plus, it gets your mind off of it. You know, I will go out for a round. It takes a little over an hour for me to do a solo round. and I get in a little over 3 miles. And if I do, sometimes I'll do back-to-back rounds and spend maybe 3 hours out there and get 6 miles in. And so it's a good way to get some workout in, some exercise in, but not having to commit an entire weekend. So what if you're that avid disc golfer that isn't really into backpacking and don't know what you would actually get out of backpacking? Well, backpacking for me definitely improves two things. Number one, your fitness. If you're carrying around between a 20 and 40 pound pack for 5, 10, 20 miles each day, and you go out for a weekend, you're increasing your stamina. You're building it up so that when you go out for those disc golf tournament rounds, or those rounds with your friends, or those tag rounds, or just solo rounds, you aren't getting as tired walking around the course. You know, those holes where you go from one hole to the next one, and it's, you know, from the basket of one to the tee of the next one, it's a quarter-mile uphill jog to get there. You'll be a little bit more refreshed if you are doing something a little bit more than just disc golfing. If you're going out and doing the backpacking, it's going to help increase your stamina and your ability to walk those distances without getting winded as much. Additionally, I think the bigger part is the mental game. So for me, mental game in disc golf is still something that is challenging me, even though I've been a lifelong competitive sports person, being a professional mountain biker in the past, being a coach. The mental game is still something that you have to practice, you have to continue to work on. And being out backpacking, you're able to work through a lot of that, and you get a lot of confidence and a lot of just self-pride out of accomplishing something, setting a goal, somewhere that you want to get to, and being able to do it. Or saying, look, I'm going to make it to the top of this hill before I stop for water, or before I stop to get something to eat. And you can accomplish that. You can set little mini goals and really help build your self-esteem up as you go. And I think that's something that could translate over well into disc golf, so that, you know, it's those things where, okay, just slow your heart rate down, think about this shot, make the shot, and build that self-esteem and keep things going. For me, I don't want to choose one or the other. I want to be able to do both and enjoy both, and I'm going to continue to do and enjoy both. But I think that this is something that if you're a backpacker, you could look into disc golf as something to help you get out, enjoy nature, do something a little bit different, something that takes your mind off of the actual hiking, the walking part of it. It still gets you out there and allows you to have fun on those days or those weekends where you can't commit to a full weekend getting out, or you don't have the time to take a week off. For those disc golfers, go ahead and take a weekend. Take it away from your tags, your local tags events, and go out and just see how peaceful and how good it can be to be out there and feel that self-accomplishment of hitting those miles or hitting those goals. You don't have to plan for big miles. You definitely don't want to start planning for a 20-mile day. First time you go out, do a 5-mile. Do something else. I mean, kind of keep it entertained. Make sure that you have good destinations in mind, so that you are engaged and want to be there and enjoy it. And then once you get there, you're able to enjoy where you're at. So like I said, guys, today was all about showing how these two support each other, and that it doesn't have to be a one or the other. I think that going forward, you're going to see obviously more disc golf content on this channel, but also a lot more backpacking as well. As the shoulder heals up and I'm able to get out and do more, you guys are going to see the content start to flow in. I really want this year to be one that I really pick the pace back up, get back out there. You guys are seeing it now. You know, I'm so encouraged by this shoulder repair and by the shoulder replacement and the recovery from that I'm looking really forward to what's to come this year. Stick with me, guys. It's going to be a good one. I will see you guys down the trail.